And I'm Kelly. And thank you for watching. And another thing.
Where we talk about current events,
Pop culture.
things we love,
Things we don't.
all slathered in gobs of laughter.
And all the feels.
So pour yourself a drink and get comfy.
Because it's time for
And Another Thing.
Cheers. Cheers.
I said your name and you said my name.
But
At
we
the
did?
beginning. Yeah, we switched it.
Oh, crap. All right, campers.
It's our second episode, and
Yes.
we sure learned a lot from our first episode.
Oh my God, yes we did.
First off, I learned I purse my lips a lot when I'm listening to Darcy like this, and they disappear.
It makes me think she's just disagreeing with me and not going to say anything. I learned that I need to brush my dadgum hair before I get on camera.
She looks good today, right, people? I learned I needed a little bit longer sleeve because last week my flush flags were flying.
Which I have no shame about. Suck it. Anyway, and what else? What else was there? Oh,
My alarm.
Yes.
My that beep you heard was not me taking phone calls from my boys. It was
We're trying to keep our segments short enough so that you won't like die of boredom while you're
right. So I had
talking.
a timer set, and I thought it wouldn't go off in airplane mode, but I've learned.
It does. Oh well. La la la, DIY. Also, we will never ever post spoilers about anything. Ever.
A friend of mine said that she turned it off as soon as Darcy started talking about Orange is the New Black. She was talking in general terms, and we will never give spoilers.
We are spoiler haters. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And lastly, and on a serious note, I made the mistake last week of using the word cracker with the snake neck and everything while talking about race relations in the Black Lives Matter movement. Therefore, effectively negating everything that I was talking about. So if you were offended or thought that was inappropriate, you're correct, and I'm sorry, and I will do better. I won't promise that I won't slip into ghetto slang in the future, but I will try to be very, very aware of when I do it so as to be sensitive to other people's feelings.
And again, the only way we learn about these things is from you guys pointing us out.
Yes.
It's out.
Because here's us, and
Yes.
that's it.
It. So
Yes.
please write us, whatever, put us on below here. You could leave comments
Yes.
here and
And
our
on-
Facebook page.
Yes, facebook.com, Another Thing TV. We appreciated the personal messages we got on our personal Facebook pages and stuff, but we've created a space for this show because we want to encourage conversation with everybody
Right.
worldwide and try to
Exactly.
better the world that way in our little tiny way that we can. Okay?
So thanks.
Thanks.
And let's get on with the show, as they say.
Let's do it. Bye.
Hello, welcome back. So this is our stuff to talk about segment. So we're going to, I know this has already happened by the time you see this, but right now we're in it, or it just ended yesterday, but we're going to talk about the Republican National Convention where Donald Trump humbly accepted the nomination for President of the United States. Wow. That was a lot. It was a lot. I want to know, I thought his kids did great. I want to know who that guy they're talking about is.
Exactly. I feel like if the guy that was running was the guy his kids were talking about, I might consider voting for him.
Yeah, and I thought Ivanka was, she was spectacular.
Yeah.
She's so poised, she's so intelligent. And I want to believe that that's all true, and yet.
And maybe it is for them, but my feeling is why be, I can understand wanting to come out as a strong personality with everything that's going on in our world right now. You know,
Right.
trying to make people
Like
feel
a dominant-
safe and stuff like that. But he's so divisive and I can't even say the word angry. He's just so...
He is angry. I think he's angry a lot of times.
And I think
he's
we
a
all
bully.
are, so I get that, but yes, he's a bully.
He's a bully. And I was pleased about one part of his speech when he talked about LGBTQ. But then he kind of negated that by saying, I'm going to save you from terrorists.
Yeah, well, foreign ideologies. How about we work on American ideologies that also don't allow the LGBT community to be who they are and live in freedom and safety in this
Absolutely.
very country? Let's try that first, is what I feel like.
One thing another thing I was happy about, though, is when he said, and I'm glad that a lot of you are applauding
Yes.
that. But then when they panned to the audience, there were a lot of good old boys who were sitting on their hands, and that was kind of, I was like, oh, that's not a good time to pan to the audience.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Oh, Cruz.
Ted Cruz. I'll give him this. I am not a fan. Pretty much everything he stands for is vehemently against what I stand for. But I was down with him not coming out and,
being a hypocrite.
Yeah, because you know what? Trump attacked his family, and I feel like he was
his wife
and felt like I think that would be a deal breaker for me too. That would be it.
Absolutely. And you know what?
Not going to endorse that guy.
To stand there and to have platitudes about somebody who you don't agree with, I give him so much credit. If you could give Ted Cruz so much credit. Sorry.
Sorry, Mommy.
And my mommy too.
Sorry. We're grounded.
Yes. I'm so busted. But I give a lot of credit there.
Yeah. I appreciated that. And here's the thing too. Donald knew about it. That was already, I heard this on the View, that he was not going to come out and endorse him, and that Donald actually had read his speech ahead of time, and so he knew that was going to happen. But that said, like the news was doing all this when Donald comes out while Ted's being booed off the stage, and Donald comes out. I mean, he knew that, and he planned for it.
That whole thing.
To come out and stuff like that.
Coming out.
Who's coming out?
Don't come out to Queen's music. If you are vehemently against LGBTQ rights, don't use Queen's music as your "We Are the Champions" thing. Oh my God, what does that sound? That's Freddie Mercury
rolling in his grave. Yes, but I do have to say this as a person who has been in the music industry for a long time and used to work at BMI, which just look them up. I'm not going to explain it all right now. It was perfectly legal because some people are like, he used it without their permission. No, Queen expressed their distaste, but it is perfectly legal for them to use that song. The RNC or the venue where they hold the convention is required to get a blanket license that covers every single song recorded in America that can be used at whim. So there was no illegalities happening. Sony Music even said, we didn't authorize this. They don't get to authorize it, and they know it.
It was just in bad taste.
It was in terrible taste, but I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people are screaming about, without permission. There's nothing illegal about what they use. I just hate it. Sorry. And no offense, really quickly, because we probably should move on.
Right.
But no offense to our Republican friends, honest to God. I grew up a Reagan Republican.
Oh,
Kelly,
absolutely.
Do you still consider yourself Republican generally?
I consider myself, I'm still a registered Democrat, but you would be surprised how conservative I am on a lot of issues. I know a lot of my friends right now are going, what? But yeah, we've talked about this a lot. Yeah. I tend to be very conservative in a lot of ways, except social issues. I'm kind of a libertine that way, but...
Libertine?
Libertine! How's that for old-timey? I'm gonna roll my knickers down! Or up!
I don't think you know what the word libertine means.
I do.
Well, of course you do, because you read more than me. But that's the...
Libertine is like...
You're kind of a whore, right?
Well, that's one interpretation.
Not that I'm calling you a whore. Anyway, we just went chasing rabbits.
But this is going to go into our next... This is segueing into our next thing. I do want to talk about Melania. She plagiarized, or her script writer, who I love her name, if it's true, it's MacGyver, because we're going to call it to fix the script. Get MacGyver on the MacGyver. She took Scotch tape and Michelle Obama's speech and made a speech out of it. But the slut shaming of Melania, not okay. Not okay, and we are going to talk about that in our next segment.
We are. Love you, Repubs. Bye-bye. Let's have a splash of juice.
Because it's time for another edition of
The Juicy Journal.
Oh, are we not drinking?
No. New Juicy Journal.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about, so we're going to get through it. Okay, so I promised I'd bring it back full circle about Melania Trump. Here's the thing. I think it's funny when you make fun of her copying off of Michelle Obama's paper. The memes that are going around, I think that's funny. What's not funny is her being slut-shamed. There's no reason for it. And she was called a bitch in emails 24 hours right after the plagiarism gate, I'm going to call it. 443 times she was called a slut, a bitch, 99 times slut, and 118 times whore. And that's just in 24 hours. And there's a bunch of other, I just pulled out the key ones. It was, bimbo, what gold digger. There was a ton of other ones.
Right.
So my whole point in that is make fun of her being plagiarizing all you want. I mean, I think that's funny. And like I said, if it's MacGyver, make fun of that stuff. Funny. Same thing with Chris Christie. I'm just going to say really fast. That was a Freudian slip. If all your jokes are fat jokes about him, you're a hack. Because
Absolutely.
You know what? There's a lot funnier things you can make fun of him about than fat jokes. So if
protect the policies. And also, do not give me crap about, what people have been saying about Hillary. That's just as bad. Stop denigrating women. Stop it. We don't deserve it. We don't care what you think of our politics. I mean, of course we care, but that's what needs to be, your attention needs to be focused on.
And
say what you want about that.
The vitriol across the aisle.
It's outrageous.
Yes.
Stop it.
Stop it.
That leads us to Miss Dani Mathers. Perfectly lovely little Playboy playmate. We're not going to judge today, but what she did was, she's at the gym at LA Fitness. She decides to take a picture of a naked woman changing in the locker room and post it to Snapchat with the caption, "If I can't unsee this, you can't either." She claims it was supposed to go just to her friend, but that's not an excuse. If you're saying that to anybody, you're just a rotten human being. And the thing that drives me crazy is, like, first of all, we all know this is a gross violation of this poor woman's privacy.
Absolutely. She's in the gym.
Yeah, and naked. Now she's naked on the internet without her permission. It's crazy.
I hope it's considered revenge porn, and I hope she goes to jail. I'm sorry. I hope.
Me too. I do too. But the other thing about it is that this crap happens to people of size all the time. If you don't believe me, look at people of Walmart. Or don't. But I'm just saying. I have wondered often how many times I may have appeared on the internet while I'm just out and about doing my life as a fat person, and somebody decides it's hilarious that I'm a big person, takes my picture and posts it without my knowledge.
My ex stopped some Japanese tourists in Santa Monica on the pier from taking my picture.
Are you kidding me?
No, they were like taking my picture. It's one of the best things he ever did. Most
I can attest to that. But anyway, we're not circus freaks.
I'm not a attraction for you to see when you come to LA.
No. We are just human beings just living our lives, and just let us live them.
And this happens. Follow us around one day. It's yelled at us in the Target parking lot. We're not exaggerating, people. This happens.
And that's why we're talking about it. And shame on you, Dani Mathers. Good for LA Fitness for banning her from every LA Fitness in the world. And LAPD is investigating whether a crime actually happened.
And I think Hefner even, wasn't able to find it, but I think Hef even said that they're Playboy's disassociating from
Good
her.
on you, Hef.
Yeah.
Good on you. Because you know what? She's got thin privilege. And she needs to be very, very aware of that. We're going to be talking about privileges a lot around here.
Yes.
Speaking of, let's move on to Leslie Jones.
Oh, sweetie. I love you.
She is a very funny lady, and she's a large lady. She's 6 feet tall, but her presence is larger than life, yes. But then she got just vitriol hurled at her on Twitter, racial crap, stuff about what she looks like. I mean, we're not even going to repeat any of it because it's not worth it. But that poor woman, she's doing...
She left Twitter, and she said in tears.
Yeah. Left social media because she was so heartbroken at how rude and rotten people were to her. And we are bringing this up because just stop it. Stop being so mean to people. That is what's wrong with our world right now. Is everybody's just being so hateful to each other, and they think they can get away with it.
Absolutely, and that anonymity behind a keyboard where you just say something and hit send. Think about it before you hit send.
Right.
Don't just vomit onto the screen and hit send.
And if you know it would hurt somebody's feelings, really don't hit send. Who are you? What kind of person are you that you think it's okay to just be mean to people? Get a better hobby.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get some long pants and get out of your mother's basement.
Yes, exactly. And here's if you wouldn't say it to your mama or in front of your mama, don't say it.
Just
period.
Don't
Just don't.
Yeah.
So anyway, there we go.
That's it. That's Juicy Journal today, and man, I need a drink.
I know, right?
We're drinking this time, right?
We're drinking this episode. Yes, Lord. These are a few of the things that we love. Hello!
Hello, puppets!
We want to lighten things up a little bit now. Things we love.
Things we love. Okay, there is a dog shelter in Muncie, Indiana that people who are doing Pokemon Go, they said, come walk our dogs. So people would come so they didn't look like an idiot going to Poke Lures or whatever they're called. And they would walk their dogs. I think that's what they're called, Poke Traps.
Poke Traps.
So they'd walk the dogs. And as a result, they've almost cleared out the shelter because people would take the dogs for a walk and they'd go, oh, I really dig having this dog. And I caught,
I'm not bringing him back.
Pikachu or Squirrely McGee or whatever they caught. And they loved it. So as a result, the shelter's almost empty. So good on you, Muncie, Indiana, for Pokemon Go dogs.
Yes, let's get that in other cities
Empty
going.
cages,
Why not?
empty cages.
And what I love this particular episode is on America's Got Talent this season. There's a young man named I always want to switch his name around. Brian Justin Crum. Okay, look him up and listen to specifically his version of Creep by Radiohead. I was laying in my bed, you know, about 12:30 at night the other night, and I was watching it and thinking, oh wow, as a voice teacher, I'm listening to his voice and with my teacher ears on, and I'm thinking, oh, this is really pretty. He really understands this song. He's really telling this story, which is a big deal with me and my students. He's a gorgeous little boy. And then when he gets to the big part, and you know, everybody know the big part of the song, I was like literally screaming at my phone at 12:30 in the morning going, what's happening? He's so,
it's amazing.
So amazing.
Look at it.
Yes. Yeah. It's like I like to tell my students
post
sometimes.
In fact, we'll post a link to it.
Yes, we will. We'll post it on our Facebook page so that you get the glory.
Oh, it's
and
fantastic.
yeah, he's just brilliant. And I was like, I tell my students this all the time that, you know, sometimes God likes some people better than others, and Brian Justin Crum is one of them. So look him up and enjoy.
Yes.
And there we go.
And let us know what your favorite things are too.
Yes, please. We still want baby videos and animal videos on our Facebook pages, not our personal pages, because thank you, but Facebook page, facebook.com/anotherthingtv. And find us all over the interwebs at Another Thing TV, Instagrams, where else?
Twitter, Monet singer,
the Twitters.
Kelly L.
Yes.
Goodman, actress. In case you didn't know, you can find us there too. But if it's comments on this show, comment on our page.
Please. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you watching again.
It's a learning curve.
Yes.
We're going to keep getting better.
We're going to try anyway.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Bye-bye. All the deal.